अस्सलामु अलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुह।
वालेकुम सलाम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुह।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। Inshallah, today we will continue yesterday's lesson. Yesterday we learned about the pronouns and the use of pronouns. Today we will learn about the past tense. Fail Madi or past tense. The past tense verb al-fi'lul madi. Verb is action. In Arabic we call it fi'lun. And the doer of the action we call it subject, and in Arabic we call it fa'ilun. Doer or subject in Arabic we call it fa'ilun. So verb or action is fa'ilun, and doer or subject is fa'ilun. Base form of all Arabic verbs in the past tense. Base form of all Arabic verbs in the past tense. So past tense is the base of the all tenses in the Arabic. From the past we make the present tense. From the past tense we make the future tense. The base form of the verb always corresponds to the third person. Third person singular masculine pronoun huwa. Third person singular masculine pronoun huwa. It is the base form of the verb. Huwa means he. The doer of action fa'ilun is hidden. The doer of action fa'ilun is hidden mustatirun, within the base form of the verb. Notice the hidden he in kharaja. Kharaja, he left. So what we translate kharaja? Kharaja, he left. And in this he, there is no huwa. Huwa is hidden here. He is hidden in the base form of the verb. Kharaja, he left. So this he is already there in kharaja. Almost all Arabic verbs can be traced back to a three-letter verb. We call it salasi mujarrad. Three-letter verbs, we call them salasi mujarrad. The remaining few exceptions are traced to a four letters. So most of the verbs in Arabic, they are on the pattern of kharaja. They have three letters, three radicals. Kharaja, fa'ala. They are on the pattern of fa'ala. Fa is first radical, ain is second radical, and lam is third radical. Most of the verbs in Arabic, they are they have three radicals. To understand their structure, the three-letter verbs are defined on the pattern of fa'ala as follows. You can see here. Fa'ala. Fa is the first radical. First radical, fa. We call it kalimatun. Radical, we call it kalimatun. The second radical is ain. Third radical is lam. So in kharaja, first radical is kha. In kharaja, first radical is kha. Second radical is ra. And the third radical is ja. Kha, ra, ja. So kharaja is on the pattern of fa'ala. Most of the verbs in Arabic are on the pattern of fa'ala. Same like the kharaja. Kharaja is also on the pattern of fa'ala. So first radical and the third radical, fa and lam, they don't change their haraka. Fa has a fatha and lam has a fatha. So they don't change. While ain can take fatha, ain can take dhamma, and ain can take kasra also. The haraka of the ain, only this change. But fa and lam, first radical and the third radical, they don't change. Zahaba is also on the pattern of fa'ala. Zahaba. Zahaba means he went. First radical, fa. Fa in Zahaba is za. And ain is ha. And lam is ba. Zahaba. So first radical is za, second radical is ha, and the third radical is ba. Jalasa, he sat. Ja, la, sa. Jim is a first radical, lam is a second radical, and sin is a third radical. And they are on the pattern of fa'ala. Nasara, he helped. Na, sa, ra. Na is the first radical, Sad is the second radical, and Ra is the third radical. So Noon is a first radical, Kalma Fa, radical Fa. Sad is on the pattern of Ain. Kalma Ain or radical Ain. And Ra is on the pattern of Lam. Sami'a. Sami'a. So now you see here. Sami'a. He heard. Sa is on a pattern of fa. Sa is on a pattern of fa and its haraka. You see here. It's dhamma. It has a dhamma. Oh, sorry, fatha. Sa. And ain also have a fatha. We learn ain. This is a fatha. This is a fatha, and this is a fatha. So they are on the pattern of fa'ala. First radical still same. It has fatha. And the third radical is still same. It have fatha. Second radical is changing. Second radical, you can see here, it have kasra here. Sami'a. So second radical can change its haraka. It can take fatha, it can take kasra, and it can take dhamma also. While the first radical and the third radical, they remain same. First radical and the third radical, they don't change. Karuma. Karuma, he became noble. He became noble. So ka first radical, it still have fatha here, and the second radical here now it is taking dhamma, and this third radical still the same. So there is no change in the first radical and the third radical. Only the second radical which change its haraka. Sometimes it take fatha, it take kasra, and it take dhamma. So here in the base form of all three letters, past tense verbs, radical fa, kalimatul fa, or radical fa and kalimatul lam or radical lam always have a fatha. So radical fa and radical lam, or we can say first radical and the third radical always have a fatha, while the kalimatun ain, second radical, kalimatul ain is a second radical, can have a dhamma, fatha or kasra. Second radical, it can have dhamma, fatha or kasra. Conjunction of past tense verb. Just now we have learned that the base form of the verb contains he, huwa, as a doer, as a subject. So in the base form of the verb in Arabic, the doer or the subject is hidden in the verb. Kharaja. Kharaja means he left. Within the base form, this phylum is considered hidden. Huwa is considered hidden in the kharaja. When we will translate the kharaja, we will say he left. So he is hidden in kharaja. This is only in the base form of the verb. Third person, what is the base form of the verb? Third person singular, masculine. Third person masculine singular. This is the base form of the verb. Third person masculine singular kharaja. This is the base form of the verb. And the subject or the doer or the phylum is hidden in the base form of the verb. So when we use the pronouns, huwa is hidden here, huwa is hidden here. So huwa mean he, huwa he. This is hidden. Now we use huma for the two. Huma mean they two. They two. Kharaja and this alif. Alif of the huma. When we use the past tense, these are the suffix we use. You see here. This first person huwa is hidden. Huwa is the damir muttasil or attached pronoun is who. Who is hidden there in the first person in the verb. So for huma, they two. Huma means they two. In the past tense, we use alif. Past tense verb suffix for the huma, we use alif silent. For whom, they, all, we use waw and alif. Waw silent and alif. With the verb, we use waw silent and alif. So these are the suffix in the past tense we use with the verb. We use with the verb. For here is ha, and we use ta silent, open ta silent. And for humma, we use ta, this one. So these are the suffix we use in the past tense. For humma, we use ta. For hunna, we use na. Anta, we use ta. For antuma, we use tuma. These suffix, I will send it to you. You have to understand them and you have to memorize them. So when we use for the third person dual, for the third person masculine dual, kharaja, and we add alif. So it becomes kharaja. Since this alif represents they two, alif represents they two. This alif, it represents they two. They two, third person dual masculine. Who did the action? They two, this is a doer, this is a fa'ilun. This is a subject. They two is a subject here. So in kharaja, alif is a subject here. Whom? They, more than two. Kharaju. Kharaja plus we add this waw. So it becomes kharaju. And we add one extra alif here. We call it aliful wiqayati. Alif of the protection. It protects the waw. To protect this waw, we add an extra alif. There is no meaning of this alif. This is only for the protection of this waw. So this waw we only add for this alif we add only for the protection. It protects the waw from being mistaken for the conjunction. And it is written but not pronounced. This alif we only write here, but we don't pronounce. Notice that the original fatha changed to a dhamma once waw was added. It was a kharaja. Here was a fatha on kharaja, but we changed into dhamma when we added waw. In the last lessons, we have learned there. This is done for the phonetic convenience, as kharaju is easier to pronounce than kharajau. Kharajau is a difficult to pronounce, so we give it dhamma here. So it becomes kharaju. In the first lesson, we have learned about the long vowels, short vowels and the long vowels. And before waw, there should be a dhamma. Before waw, there should be a dhamma. So that's why we change fatha into dhamma. Then for the feminine, third person feminine. In order to say she left, the base form of the verb is feminized by adding a ta of feminizing, ta'tanis. Like here, kharaja, and we add this ta. We add ta silent there. This ta have a spoon. This ta. Kharaja, so it will become kharajat. This ta is the sign of the feminine. We have feminized this. The tautanis is not a file. This ta is not a file. This is not a subject. Instead, the phylum is considered hidden in this form and is implied as she left. So subject is hidden here. She is hidden here. She is hidden in the kharaja, and he is also hidden in the kharaja. So how we can differentiate in kharaja? Either it is for the masculine or it is for the feminine. So when we use kharaja for the feminine, we add this silent ta to feminize it. By adding tatanis, we will differentiate. This kharaja is for the feminine, so it will become kharajat. And for dual feminine, huma, kharajat and alif. Dual, we have just learned there, we add alif, alif silent. So it will be kharajata, kharajata. So it means since this alif represents they too. So alif is file here. This alif is file here. They too who did the action and it acts as the file, as a subject. And for feminine, plural, third person feminine plural, hunna. Hunna, they two. More than two. More than two, we call it jama, plural. Kharaja, and we add na with fatah. Since this noun represents they two who did the action. So this noun with fatah, this is a subject here. This is a subject, this is a doer here, this is a phylum. Notice that the fatah on the third radical changed to a sukun in this case. So kharaja, there was a fatah, so it will change into sukun. This fatah of jim, it will change into sukun, so it will become kharajna. And this is a how we add the suffix in past tense. You see here, kharaja. So in kharaja, the file, subject is hidden. Mustatirun is hidden. Hidden means he is already hidden in the kharaja. He, huwa, is hidden in the kharaja. So there is no suffix, that is already there. They too, huma. For huma, we use alif silent. For huma, we use alif silent. So kharaja, after the kharaja, we add alif silent. So this alif silent is subject here. They too kharaja, when there is a verb like kharaja, so it means they too went out. They too went out. They too left. They too left or they too went out. So for the third person masculine plural, they more than two. Whom? For whom we add waw, silent and alif. So waw is a subject here. Failun, waw is a subject here, and alif is a protective alif. We add alif to protect this waw. Waw, the alif we only write, we don't pronounce it. So it becomes kharaju. So waw is a subject here. Waw is a subject here. So with the feminine here, she, here we add this to feminize, we add this tatanis. While the file or the subject is hidden here. Subject file is hidden here. This ta is not a file. This ta is not a file. This ta is not a subject. This is a tatanis only to feminize. Then for dual, they too, huma. We add ta. This ta is a fartanis. This ta is fartanis. And we add alif. We add alif. This alif is a subject here. Alif is a subject here. Kharajata. So kharajata, in this alif is a subject here. They too feminine, they left. And they feminine plural, hunna, and we add noon. Suffix is noon here. So file is noon here. File or subject is noon here. It becomes kharajna. Kharajna. So noon is file here. Therefore, the second person mukhatib, you, anta. Anta, this is suffix we add in past tense ta. File or subject is ta. File or subject or doer of the verb is ta. So it becomes kharajita. For dual, you too, antuma. Antuma, tuma, kharajtuma. It becomes kharajtuma. So this tuma is subject here. It is doer. And you, antum. Tum, this is a suffix we use in the past tense. Tum. Kharajtum. So this tum in kharajtum is subject here. This tum, what we add there, tum, it is subject here. Anti for feminine. For feminine, anti, we use ta with kasra here. Anti. Kharajti, you left. So ti with kasra is subject here. And for dual, antuma, dual is same for the second person, for the third person, for the masculine and the plural, the dual will be same here. Antuma, tuma, tuma, kharajtuma. So you see here this dual is same here. Dual for the masculine and dual for the feminine, they are the same. You see here, dual is same. Then the plural, mukhati plural, second person plural, you, feminine, antunna. We add tunna, so tunna is a subject. Kharajtunna. Kharajtunna is a subject. And now for the first person mutakallam. First person singular, I, ana. For ana, we use ta with dhamma. For ana, we use ta with dhamma. Dhamma. You see here, this is a ta with dhamma. Kharajtu, it will become kharajtu. Kharajtu, I left. Kharajtu, I left. And this tu is a subject here. Kharajtu, I left. And for plural, we, nahnu, na. And na is a doer here. It is a subject here. It will become kharajna. Kharajna, we left. Kharajna, we left. Na is a subject here. In kharajna, na is subject, a doer of the action. And this is more examples. Huwa, kharaja, zahaba, samiya, karuma. For dual, kharaja, for zahaba, sami'a, karuma. Kharaju, zahabu, sami'u, karamu. Kharajat, zahabat, sami'at, karumat. Kharajta, zahabta, sami'na, karumana, karumata. So this is the table. You can watch later. All details are here. Kharaja, we have just now learned all the kharaja, and zahabta we have learned, and samia and karuma you can see here. So we only adding these suffix. What you have to remember, we add these suffix here. You have to memorize this one. These are the suffix we add in the past tense. And you have to memorize these one. So our time is finished for today. So if you have any question, later you can WhatsApp me. إلى اللقاء.